Hi kids, hope the first video of chapter 7 getting to know plants was clear for you. So now today we will be seeing the second video of the same chapter. Here in this video you will be studying about the second part of a plant, that is the leaf. So you remember what all things we studied in video 1? There in video 1 we studied about 5 groups of plants. Then you studied which are the different parts of a plant with the help of a diagram. And you studied one part in detail. Can you tell me which part you studied? You remember? Yes, it was the stem. So today we will be studying about the next part of a plant, that is the leaf. Okay children, we will start. So leaf. Now all of you look here. This is a leaf. Now, we are going to study about the parts of a leaf first. Okay. Now, the leaf is having a part called as petiole. Now, what is this petiole? It's a part of a leaf with which it is attached onto a stem. Just see this leaf which I am having with me right now. See the part of the leaf which I have holded. This is the petiole. See, this is the part, this is the petiole. So, this petiole will help the leaf to get attached onto the stem. Can you see this? So, this is the petiole. The petiole is a part of a leaf with which it is attached onto the stem. Clear? So, that's all about the petiole. Now, what is the next part of a leaf? It is the lamina, the broad green colored portion of this leaf, this portion. You call this portion as the lamina, this whole portion you call it as the lamina. So, first part is the petiole, second part is the lamina. Now, the third part is the margin of this leaf, the side, this margin, this is called as a margin, the side portion of this leaf. See, this is the margin. Okay, then this is the tip of a leaf, the end of a leaf or the tip portion. So clear? So you call this portion with which the leaf is attached onto a stem as the petiole, the broad green portion of this leaf as the lamina, the side of this leaf as the margin, and this is the tip of a leaf. Clear? Now you can see it on the front, or if you want you take the back side of a leaf, it will be more prominent. You can see certain structures. Can you see so many thin line-like structures on this leaf? If you want, you just take a leaf from your garden and you observe it along with this video. Okay, so see, you can see so many line-like structures all in this leaf. See, you call these structures as the veins. They are the veins. Now, you can see this vein, the central part of this vein. See, this part which starts from the petiole, it's very straight. It is going till the tip of the leaf. This main vein of a plant, you call it, or the leaf, you call it as the midrib. So, the main vein which is passing through the center of a leaf, you call it as the midrib. Okay, and all the side veins which come out, you simply call them as the veins itself. All the side branches of the midrib, you call them as veins. So, how many parts are there for a leaf? There are 6 parts. Once more repeat with me. Number 1, the part of the leaf with which it is attached onto a stem, you call it as the petiole. The broad green portion of this leaf, you call it as the lamina. Then the side of this leaf, you call it as the margin. Then there is a tip. Okay, the petiole is continued into the leaf through a center. Okay, the central vein, the major prominent vein of this leaf, you call it as the midrib. And all the side branches which is arising from the midrib, you call them as veins. So clear? So these are the 6 main parts of a leaf. Okay children. Next, see this diagram. Observe this leaf carefully. Can you see a petiole here? See, is there a petiole here? There is no petiole actually. See, the leaf is directly arising from the stem, or there is no petiole at all, or the petiole is very small or minute. There are so many leaves like this which are having no petiole. So don't always think that always in each and every leaf there is petiole. There are some exceptional cases like this where leaves does not have petiole. Okay. Next we are going to study in detail about the veins of a leaf. So remember the diagram which we saw? There is a central vein which passes through the center of a leaf. What do you call the central vein as? You call it as a midrib. And there are so many side veins we told, isn't it? They are called as simply the veins. Now, all these veins, the midrib along with the side branches, okay, they are arranged in each and every leaf in different pattern. In some leaves, they will be arranged to form a network structure like this. See, it's almost, so everything is messed up. It's forming a network. All the veins are just, see, so many branches are there for the veins. Okay, all are just messed up here. And such type of an arrangement of leaf where the veins are all forming a network, you call it as reticulate. Okay, so reticulate means network. Okay, so the first type of arrangement of veins is reticulate, where the veins are arranged. So see this diagram, they are forming a network like structure. The veins are all arranged here and there, they are branching and finally they are forming a network like structure. Such a network structure you call it as reticulate arrangement. Okay, so next pattern, just see this diagram, it's a leaf of a banana plant. Okay, just observe here, the midrib is here in the center, but whereas all other veins, they are arranged one below the other. Can you see like this? They are arranged parallel to each other. Such an arrangement you call it as parallel arrangement of veins. So, the first case where the veins were arranged to form a network, you call it as reticulate, and the second one where the veins are arranged one below the other in a parallel fashion, you call it as parallel arrangement. So, you are actually having the veins in two different arrangements, reticulate and parallel. So, actually this parallel and reticulate arrangement, okay, you call them as venation of a leaf. Venation. So, what do you mean by venation? Venation means it is the arrangement of veins on a leaf. Venation, arrangement of veins on a leaf. So, if it is forming a network, you call it as reticulate, and in the next diagram you can see that the veins are arranged parallelly one below the other, you call it as parallel venation. So, you understood what is venation? The arrangement of veins on a leaf is called as venation. Now, you see this diagram, next diagram, you can see one leaf which is having parallel venation and another leaf which is having reticulate venation. Can you see this? Here the veins are arranged one after the other parallelly. Okay, so you call this arrangement as parallel venation. So, what is the first one? This is parallel venation. And what is this? Where the leaf is forming a network like structure, what do you call it as? You call it as reticulate venation. So, children, this is clear for you, parallel and reticulate? Understood? So, what is venation? Venation means the arrangement of veins on a leaf. There are two different types of venation. Number one, parallel. Number two, reticulate. So, is this perfect? Okay. So, now with that the structure of leaf is over. Now, we are going to study about a phenomenon which occurs in the leaf. Okay, you call that process as transpiration. Transpiration. See, now what is transpiration? Transpiration means the leaf will lose water in the form of water vapor. Okay, you know the different forms of water. Water can be in vapor form, it can be in ice form, it can be, it can be in solid form, it can be in liquid form, it can be in gaseous form. The gaseous form of water is water vapor. Okay, so the leaves will lose water in a gaseous form or in a water vapor form. You call the process as transpiration. So, what is a proper definition for transpiration? It is the loss of water as water vapor from leaves. So, clear? So, this is the definition for transpiration. It is the loss of water as water vapor from the leaves of a plant. Okay. Now, we are going to study about an activity in which this process of transpiration is demonstrated. Clear? So, for doing this activity, we require two polythene covers. One polythene cover you label it as A and the second polythene bag you call it as B. So, there are two polythene bags or polythene covers. One you call it as A, the other one for our easiness we call it as B. Okay. Now, one more thing we require a healthy potted plant. A plant which is planted in a pot and it should be very healthy also. Okay. So, now we will start the experiment. Okay. Now, what do? You are having two polythene bags with you. The first polythene bag, you just wrap it around the plant which is there inside the pot. The potted plant which you are having, you just wrap the whole plant with the polythene bag A. You tie it properly. Okay. Then the second polythene bag, you just tie the polythene bag. You just not wrap it in with any potted plant or nothing. Nothing is there inside the second polythene bag. The polythene bag is, see, simply knotted. Okay. Now, you keep both this A and B experimental setup under sunlight. Keep it for some time. You observe what happens after some time. Okay. Now, what happens after some time? Normally, just think what will happen. You just think when the plant gets sunlight. Okay. When the plant gets sunlight, what will the plant do? The plants will be preparing their food using the sunlight, and after their food preparation, okay, there will be water produced as a waste product inside the plant. This water which is produced as a waste product has to go out of the plant. Okay, that water goes out as water vapor from the plant and you call the process as transpiration. So, this healthy potted plant will try to throw out the water vapor from its leaf. So, water vapor will come out of the leaf of this potted plant. Clear? Now, this water vapor will be coming out of the leaf, but this water vapor cannot escape. Why? Because the whole plant is covered by a polythene bag. So, this water vapor will go and touch this polythene bag. Once the water vapor goes and touches somewhere a solid object, what will happen to this water vapor? The water vapor will cool down and it turns into water droplets. You know, you call this process as condensation. You might have studied this, isn't it? Condensation. So, what is condensation? The conversion of water vapor to water by the process of cooling is called as condensation. So, actually condensation will happen here. Clear, children? So, once more I will repeat the experiment. See, you cover this polythene bag A on a healthy potted plant. You keep the polythene cover B. Simply you just put a knot and keep it aside. Both the experimental setup you are keeping it under sunlight. After some time you observe, what can you see? After some time you can see that there are water droplets on this polythene bag A. Here and there you can see water droplets all over on this polythene bag A. And right now you know from where this water droplets came. Isn't it? From where did the water droplets came? See, the leaf of this plant will be throwing out water in the form of water vapor. This water vapor will try to escape out, but it cannot go out. Why? Because there is a polythene bag, okay, preventing the water vapor from going out. the water vapor will go and touch the polythene bag. It will cool down. The process called as condensation will happen and the water vapor will get converted into water droplets. The water droplets will be there on the polythene bag. Is that clear? So, transpiration has occurred here. Okay, so this is a clear-cut activity to demonstrate the process of transpiration. Now, in this polythene bag B, will there be any water droplets? Definitely no. Why? Because inside this polythene bag B, there was no plant. Okay, if there is no plant, how can the plant, how will transpiration occur inside that bag? Without transpiration, how can you see water droplets inside bag B? So, inside bag B, there will be no water droplets. Hope this activity was clear for you. Okay, we will see this activity, see another diagram of the same activity. Just see, a potted plant is kept here and it is covered by a polythene cover. Okay, the same experimental setup once more shown to you. See, after some time, you keep it under sunlight for some time, after some time just observe this diagram. You can see water droplets all over inside that polythene bag. Okay, how these water droplets came? It was due to the process of transpiration. Okay, transpiration occurred here and the water vapor will go touch the polythene bag, it will condense and form water droplets. Is that clear, children? So, with this, the process of transpiration, I hope it is clear for you. Okay, children? Yes. We will move on to the next activity. Okay, there are lots of activity in this heading. Okay, under this heading leaf, there are lots of activity. So, the next activity which is given in your textbook, it is given in page number 56, activity 5. We are going to study that activity right now. In this activity, we will study, okay, that the leaf is having starch inside it. Now, what is starch? Starch is a form of sugar. Starch is the storage food of a plant. Okay, so starch is a carbohydrate. Carbohydrate will be clear to you, isn't it? It's much more simple for you to understand. You know what is carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is a nutrient. Okay, the plants will also have certain nutrients inside them. Okay, starch is the type of carbohydrate which is present in a plant. It is the storage food of a plant. Whenever the plant requires food, and if the plant is not getting any food from outside, the starch which is already stored inside the leaf or in some other part of a plant will be taken as the food for a plant. Okay, so now we are going to study that the leaf is having starch inside it. And for studying that, we are going to study it with the help of an activity only. Okay, so now I am going to explain you what is this activity. Observe this diagram carefully. See the first picture. Okay, it shows that, see, you are having a beaker. In the beaker, can you see water? Okay, inside that water you are having a green leaf. So that green leaf is plucked from a plant. It's a healthy leaf taken from a healthy plant. So a healthy green leaf is taken for doing this experiment. So this healthy plant is selected. It is kept inside a beaker which is having water. Make sure the leaf is completely submerged inside the water. And now you are going to provide heat from below. Can you see? Here it is heated. You are giving heat from below. You are keeping it on a stand and you are heating it. Clear, children? So, after some time the water will be boiling. Okay, so the leaf inside the water is right now boiling. After some time, what do? You take the leaf from here. From this beaker, you take out the leaf and you put this leaf into another test tube. See, test tube means it is a tube like this. It's a narrow tube. This is a test tube. It's a very narrow tube. When compared to a beaker, the test tube is very small. It's seen in this diagram. See, there is a beaker outside and there is a test tube inside. Okay, so in this test tube, you take some alcohol or some spirit. So till here, you are taking alcohol or spirit inside this test tube. The leaf which you have already boiled, you put that leaf into this test tube. So now the leaf is inside the spirit. which is inside a test tube. Now what will you do with this test tube? You keep this test tube, take this test tube, slowly you keep it into this beaker. Okay, the beaker is having water inside it. Again you heat it. Okay, now a question arises. Why you are not heating the test tube directly? Can't you heat the test tube directly? Can't you give heat to the test tube directly? Why you are keeping it inside the beaker for heating? And inside the beaker you have poured water also. So it is a double boiling method, isn't it? The water will first boil and this hot water will make the spirit inside the test tube hot. Okay, why you are doing such a procedure? Why you are not heating the test tube directly? It is because inside the test tube you have taken alcohol or spirit. It will catch fire fast. So in order, okay, to keep this experiment, to run this experiment safely, okay, as a safety measure only, we are keeping this alcohol containing test tube inside the water, inside the beaker containing water. You call it as a water bath. Okay, so you are double boiling it for safety purposes only. Is that clear? Yes. Now, once the water is heated up, the water will be heating the alcohol inside it, or the spirit inside it. The spirit will start heating, the spirit will start boiling. As a result, the leaf, observe the leaf inside. Right now the leaf is not green in color. Why? Because the leaf loses its green color when it is put inside boiling spirit. So the leaf will lose its color, it will be decolorized. Clear? Now you take that leaf from the alcohol, okay, the decolorized leaf, the leaf which is not having green color anymore. You take out that leaf, you wash the leaf properly, and once you wash it, see, you are using cold water for washing the leaf. After washing, what you do? You keep the leaf on a piece of white tile or on a petri dish like this, or on any other plain surfaces. You just keep the leaf. Okay, now on this colorless leaf, you are going to pour a solution. You are going to pour a chemical onto this colorless leaf. You call that chemical as iodine. Now what is this iodine? iodine, iodine. This iodine solution is used to check the presence of starch in any food material. Okay, now when you pour iodine into anything which is having starch inside it, the color of that material will turn blue-black. So note this color, children, blue-black. So when you pour iodine into any material which is having starch inside it, the color will change blue-black. Okay, so you pour iodine into this leaf which has already been decolorized. See, in this diagram it is green in color. Don't bother, it is actually colorless only. It's another diagram only. It's not the continuation of this. So actually the continuation is this one. So you put iodine on this leaf. What will happen when you put iodine on this leaf? What will happen to the color of this leaf? The leaf's color will change blue-black. This is a clear indication for us to see that the leaf is having starch inside it. Clear? So, what is the conclusion of this activity? What did you understand after doing this activity? You understood that the leaf is having starch, or there is starch present in a leaf. Is it clear? Okay. Now, from where will the leaf get the starch? How do the leaf get the starch? We will see that. The leaf gets starch by doing a process called as photosynthesis. You might have heard about this process, isn't it? Photosynthesis. Now, what is photosynthesis? Photo means light, in the presence of light. Synthesis means preparation. So, what do you mean by photosynthesis? The process of preparing something in the presence of light. That is photosynthesis. So, our green plants, they prepare their food in the presence of light, and you call that process as photosynthesis. For doing photosynthesis, light alone is not enough. We require some other things for doing photosynthesis. Now we will see what are the other things required. Okay. So now we are going to study in detail about the process called as photosynthesis. So now what is photosynthesis? The food making process of a plant is called as photosynthesis. Okay. Question number 2. What all things are required for doing photosynthesis? Number 1, you know, light. Now what are the other things which is required for doing photosynthesis? See, so number 1, the first requirement is sunlight. The second requirement is carbon dioxide. It is a gas which is present abundant in our atmosphere. Number 3, water. From where will the plants get water? Definitely from the soil, isn't it? Who will absorb this water from the soil? The root of a plant. The root of a plant will be absorbing the water and minerals from the soil. Carbon dioxide is there in the atmosphere, so the leaf will get carbon dioxide from the air. Sunlight comes from sun. So using all these 3 things, inside the leaf of a plant, in the presence of a green colored substance called as chlorophyll. See, why the leaf is green in color? Because it is having a green colored substance called as chlorophyll inside it. In the presence of this chlorophyll or inside the chlorophyll, okay, by using all these 3 materials, the leaf will be preparing the food for a plant. So actually leaf is a kitchen of a plant. Your mama will be preparing food for you, in the kitchen. She will be using all the different ingredients. Inside a vessel, she will be preparing food. That vessel is chlorophyll. All the ingredients she uses, sunlight, carbon dioxide, water. Finally, some food, some new dish is being produced by your mama. And this new dish for your plant is the sugar. Okay, after preparing the dish, she will be having lots of things to wash. So many waste will be there to be thrown into the dustbin. Similarly, the plant is also having some waste to throw out, that is oxygen. Okay, so oxygen is a waste for a plant, but we require oxygen for respiration. Okay, we will take in oxygen, we will be giving out carbon dioxide after breathing. That carbon dioxide will be again taken by the plant for doing photosynthesis. So is that clear? So this is the food making process of a plant. So the plant will prepare its food by a process called as photosynthesis. Okay, for doing photosynthesis, what all things does a plant require? A plant requires sunlight, which it gets from the sun. Then it requires carbon dioxide, which it will get from the air. Then it requires water, which it will get from the soil. The roots will be absorbing the water from the soil. Using all these 3 things, inside the green colored substance of a leaf called as chlorophyll, the leaf of a plant will be preparing the food called as sugar. After this process, oxygen is produced as a waste by the plant that will be thrown out of the leaf into the air. Okay children, now the sugar will be used by the plant. The plant requires the sugar for growing. It requires energy for doing various life activities, isn't it? It needs to produce flowers, it needs to produce fruit. The plant has to grow, its height should increase, it should absorb water. Like this, lots and lots of activity is happening inside a plant. For doing all this activity, the plant requires energy. So actually this food is used for getting energy for the plant. Okay, and the remaining food, the plant will be using some food for getting energy. Okay, the remaining food will be stored inside the plant, and that stored material you call it as starch. So whatever food is remaining, whatever extra food is produced will be stored inside the plant in the form of starch. Clear? So the leaf will be having starch inside it. Not alone the leaf, in some plants the starch will be stored in the root. You might have seen potato, you might have seen carrot. In all these plants the roots will be storing the starch. For some plants the leaf will be storing the starch. In some plants the fruit will be storing the starch. So the starch will be stored in different parts of a plant. Understood? So each and every part will be having the starch inside it. It is a storage food. So understood from where the starch come inside a leaf, and the activity which we have done in the previous slide It was an activity to show that the leaf is having starch. So right now you understood how the leaf get this starch. Hope this process called as photosynthesis is clear. Okay, so we will take a quick preview on photosynthesis once more using another diagram. So what is photosynthesis? It is a process of producing food in the presence of light. What do you mean by photo? Means light. Okay, so what all are the ingredients which are used for doing photosynthesis? The plant will get sunlight from sun, carbon dioxide from the air, water from the soil. Okay, and inside the chlorophyll, which is a green colored material inside a leaf, inside the chlorophyll the plant will be preparing its food, which is called as sugar. Extra food will be stored as starch. Okay, the waste gas produced is oxygen, it will be thrown out of the leaf. Okay children, so hope this video 2 about leaf was clear for you. So what all things we studied in this video? We studied about the different parts of a leaf, the arrangement of veins on a leaf. You studied about the food making process of a plant called as photosynthesis, and after that you studied about an activity, isn't it? You studied about an activity to show that the leaf is having starch inside it. And sorry, one more process you studied, isn't it? I forgot. What was that process? Transpiration. It's a process which occurs in the leaf. So you studied an activity about transpiration also. So hope this video was clear to you. Okay. So we will see in the next video. Okay children, stay safe. Bye.